Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Bunach and today I'm here to talk about Maki Zenin from Jujutsu Kaisen. So this video will contain manga spoilers as I'm going to be talking about how well written Maki is and when it comes to her potential and growth so far in the series. So when we first get introduced to Maki, she was a side character who was a second year student at Jujutsu Tech, and we slowly understood more of her and got more screen time with her. And even when the movie came around with Jujutsu Kaisen 0, and when you actually read the manga, she was pretty much one of the main characters besides Yuta within that group. So it would make sense that Gigi obviously has a lot of plans for her and constantly puts her into the story being relevant. So when it comes to Maki, I think she is a very great character. I think a lot of people love her is because not only she has cool moments, but she feels consistently written well as a child who comes from a very powerful clan, but obviously she was, treated horribly because of her lack of curse energy. And of course, her sister, her twin sister, also, has very little curse technique, like extremely weak considered for the clan. And of course, the Zenin clan themselves are very sexist. Like, this clan is so disgusting, honestly. Of course, the way they treat women, and of course, people who have not high curse energy, they just treat like servants. It's honestly sad. I love the fact that besides that, Maki definitely does want to be the head of the clan and prove everyone wrong, saying that she was not going to be worth anything and, she is not worthy of being part of the clan. And it really just shows how fantastic, Gigi puts effort into her character. When it comes to besides that, I also love Maki's relationships with other people. Maki's a pretty much straightforward person. She's very blunt and sometimes she can be seen as mean, but she is compassionate and does care about people around her. Such as when it comes to her sister, Mai, obviously she, left her, obviously, because she wanted to do her own things. But she still cares about her at the end of the day. She still did things for her so she can have a better life in her clan. Even though Mai was going to be content and just be like, okay, let's just stay in the clan. Let's just be together. Even if we have to be servants, at least we're together. But obviously, I don't think that's the right mindset that anyone should have. Like, you should never settle for less just because for somebody else. And that's pretty much why Maki just left and wanted to be the leader so she can change things within her family. So another thing is, of course, with Megumin. Megumin is pretty much her nephew and like the only relative that she has a good relationship with. I think they both have good moments together, and especially when they have worked together in a fight. Like, for example, with Hanami, that combo that they did was phenomenal, one of my favorite scenes. And of course, when Megumin actually stores Maki's weapons, such as Playful Cloud, and he gives it to her during the fight with Dagon. I think that was an incredibly cool moment, and I wish they had fought each other, more, because I think they're such a good duo with each other. Besides that, when it comes to next is Nobara. Nobara is such a fun and cool character. For manga spoilers, unfortunately, Nobara, she's not confirmed dead, but we don't know anything of her circumstances. I think she is probably alive, but they just never reference her. But at the same time, it's the same thing with Toto. Like, Toto is pretty much alive too, but they never talk about him or reference him. So that just kind of bugs me when it comes to Gigi. But I do like the dynamic between Nobara and Maki because Nobara actually respects Maki as someone who is an underdog, but actually, doesn't let her past define her and pretty much, doesn't make excuses for her short upbringings. And that's reasons why a lot of people do ship them together. And I can see it, but I still think that because Nobara's been gone for a long time, that I'm starting to not see it anymore. But besides that, it's just, they make a very good duo as well. And next we have when it comes to Inumaki and Panda, which is her other students, classmates. I think they're incredibly fun together. Obviously, Panda is incredibly hilarious. When it comes to Inumaki, he's short on words, so he's pretty much like the middle ground when it comes to the two of them. But I really like their dynamic. It's just very cool. Even in the movie with Yuta, they were just a lot of fun. Very good vibes around Yuta. And of course, speaking of Yuta, like, how can I not talk about him? I think Yuta is easily one of my favorite characters in JJK. I love his dynamics with other people. He was a great character in the movie, but obviously a lot of people think like, oh, he should have been the main character, but it's like he only needed a movie because he already discovered like his purpose, like what he wanted to do, what is he going to do forward. Like pretty much it got resolved in a movie, so what is the point? Like Yuta is fine on his own being a side character. And I think his dynamic with Maki is one of my favorites too, because they obviously could be a romantic couple in the future because they're very likable, very powerful, and they already have moments together. So it could work, and I can see why fans do ship them even more. But for me, I just like when the two of them are together as friends. And I just wish they had a fight together, like side by side. Because Maki does work well with other people, and it's just incredible to see. For example, with Yuji. So Yuji and Maki are very similar, as they're often compared and known for their super strength, because both of them are one of the stronger characters of Jujutsu Kaisen. So when the two of them actually technically fight Sukuna and Megumin's body, it was pretty freaking hyped. I wish the fight was longer because the two of them were throwing hands. Like they had pretty much good chemistry when it comes to the back and forth fight that they did, especially when Maki grabbed Yuji's leg. That was pretty fire. I wish they had more moments together because of how similar they are. But of course, when it comes to Maki, I think she is one of the better female characters because Gigi, for the life of me, as much as I love him, I don't like the fact what he did with the female characters. Most of them are rather dead, wasted potential, or just has no screen time. Like, it's really annoying, especially when it came to Yuki, who was the only female special grade sorcerer, but of course after one fight she was pretty much done against Kenjaku, which I understand. It was Kenjaku, he's the main villain, but when it came to Yuki, not only did she die, we never really got like her individual flashback of her, like her childhood, or how did she develop her powers, or her training Todo, because she was Todo's master pretty much. I wish we just saw more of Yuki before her end. And of course other characters such as Miwa. Miwa is mostly used as a joke, even though she has potential to be really strong, but they never use her. And obviously Maki's sister, she was used for Maki's development, and of course her reasoning to basically destroy her whole clan, which was the best scene ever in the manga for me, and I can't wait for that to be animated. And then we have like other side characters. Otahime, she's cool, but like I said, she's more of a support role, but she never really gets screen time. That's the problem. Mei, she's weird, but she is, like I said, strong and she has a cool ability. But once again, we don't really see her fight too much. And besides that, it's just like other female characters are just usually, after that, pretty much irrelevant to the plot, which sucks. And Maki's pretty much the only one consistently getting not only screen time, fights, but also development. And of course, speaking of development, we have, of course, she is often compared to Toji. Toji is very popular amongst the fandom. And of course, Gigi loves Toji. Like every time he brings up this character, and it does show, because Maki in the manga, eventually when she comes back, she is pretty much gotten to the point that she is compared to Toji in terms of strength and how scary she can be as someone with no curse energy. Same thing with Toji. She's often compared to him when it comes to narration or where people see him, especially with Naoya. That character I really cannot stand. The worst character in Jujutsu Kaisen for me, and obviously the bane of my existence when it comes to the Zenin clan. He also says like, "Oh, you're not Toji," and he really gets upset the fact that he admires Toji, but he can see Toji and Maki, and that makes him even more upset because he's a sexist prick. Yeah, and then also besides that, Maki's father also saw Toji and Maki, and also he's a piece of shit as well because he basically beat up and tortured and left his daughters, both Mai and Maki, into a pit of cursed spirits. So Maki obviously has a sad past. You know, both of her parents were basically terrible to her, absolutely awful. But the point is that Maki is incredibly strong, and she's easily up there when it comes to Yuta, Hikari, and Yuji. I think she's the third strongest out of the four. Yeah, because of how broken Yuta and Hikari is. Like, it's ridiculous. So I definitely can't wait to see more of Maki. You know, definitely her fight moving forward, because her, Yuta, and Hikari are going to most likely fight Kenjaku when he's finished fighting Takaba in the manga right now. So I can't wait to see that fight. It's going to be really amazing. So that will be the end of my review. Thank you so much, everyone, for 20 subscribers. You guys are the fucking best. Like, I've been going through so much right now in my life, but because you guys subscribe, leave me comments, and check out my community posts, I am very grateful to all of you, and I hope you all have a blessed day.